This is the Power Hour. Welcome. Well, hello. It's Saturday again. Another one. This is Power Hour 258. So we've done 258 of these over the years. That's quite a lot. So anyway, that's that. Let's go on to what we're going to do today. The format for today is let me just go over it with you so we're all clear about what we're going to do. I want to get this other share going first, though. So we're going to take the hour and go through Mosaic, right? And I need to bring up my presentation here. So here. And we were originally scheduled to get wings credit for this, but they didn't. They have to. It has to be approved at the national level. All the Mosaic stuff. So and our FISDO that does it, didn't get that approval. So because no one's at home. So therefore, what we're going to do is we're going to collect the names anyway, your names anyway. And if we get that approved, which we think we will, but if we do, then we can give you retroactive credit. That's kind of how it's going to be. And then we will end right at the top of the hour, but I'll keep the room open and we can open up the mics and talk. We can talk about this topic or any topic is okay as long as aviation related. And yeah, we'll do that. So that's the kind of the format of today. So if you need something or you want to, where do I get the wings credit if I can get it, it's going to be in the chat. So anything that I'm talking about that's relevant will appear in the chat. Okay, so that's where you want to keep your eye peeled. And then what you can do is you can save the chat. There's three little dots at the top near your name up there at the top and or whatever's up there. And then there's three little dots. You click on those ellipses and then there'll be a way to save text. So kind of as the time goes on, you can elect at some point to save all the chats if you want to. That's fine to do. Okay, so we'll get rolling here. So let me get my stuff going. All right, so today's topic is very timely. Now, for those of you listening in the future, you already know most of this, or you should know, or maybe you're just catching up with it. But this regulation is going to happen, hopefully, on October 22nd. So today's 18, 20, so 4 days from now. And it's been in the works for a very, very, very long time. So this is 10 years in the making. So that's how long it took to get through rulemaking. There were a lot of things that had to be considered and done. And it's if you look at the if you look at the output that the FAA did when they released what they were going to release, which is a summary, the summary is 700 and some pages. So because it not only addresses pilot centric stuff like we're going to talk about, but it covers the new aircraft certification standards, so the consensus standards. So and it goes into detail about all those things. So and it goes through why they did this or didn't do that based upon what the public comments were. So that's kind of worth a read, I suppose. You can find it at FAA.gov, but the rule will happen now. The government is shut down, so I don't know if someone will actually publish it, but it's supposed to happen on October the 22nd on Wednesday. And then that becomes law. So if you have a test coming up, a flight test coming up, a CFI check ride coming up, this is going to be very important for you because if it's after Wednesday, assuming they publish the rule, then you'll be subject to these regulations, right? So, and these regulations are what we're going to discuss. So basically, quite a bit of the changes. Okay, so let me grab stuff here. Okay. So then let's move on with the topic of Mosaic. So Mosaic means modernization of a special airworthiness certificate. And what that all means is that most airplanes you've flown from, and also I would say before I get too far into this, that CFIs in particular, flight school owners should pay very close attention to these points because we're going to see people asking for things that they didn't ask for before because they weren't available to them. And you're going to find people, a lot more clients, and you're going to have some answers at some point. Now, I put a lot of resources here, so you're not left out in the cold. There's a clickable thing. You click on this presentation. It's in the chat, and we can go through those as we go. But that's the idea. So this airplane that you have on your fleet, most likely, almost all of them in most cases, will have standard airworthiness certificates. And those are issued by FAA for certificated airplanes under Part 23, which is like a Cessna 172, Archer, anything like that. And then there are experimental airplanes and there are LSAs. The LSA word is going away, light sport airplane. That's been stricken from all the text on the 22nd. They're not called that anymore. But anyway, they're certificated under a consensus standard. So it's not under Part 23. And so that is a bit easier to do, or I'd say a lot easier to do, and a lot more flexible in a lot of ways, but there are some restrictions. So, for example, there could be limitations on the special airworthiness certificate. You're not really going to see that on a Part 23 airplane. But you could see restrictions, like for experimental airplanes, some of them where you couldn't fly over populated areas at one point or for X amount of time. So there were some limitations. So the consensus standard is all still happening, and they beefed it up a little bit. And so aircraft manufacturers, I anticipate that we're going to see competition to the 172s. I don't know if you know, but the out the door street price of a 172 new right now, are you ready? It's about $600,000. Yeah, $600,000. And Cessna says, we raised the price from basically 450 to 600 and still had as many orders as we had. We still sell them out. All the ones we want to make. So they have no incentive to go down. But now, once we have a little bit of competition in the arena, and that's coming from places like Vans. So Vans is getting their RV, I forget what it is. It's a two-place airplane certificated, not under Part 23, but on the consensus standard, so they can use it for IFR training when that time comes, VFR training, and that airplane is a lot less expensive, and it's really all you need for a training platform. It's a really good, robust airplane. Okay, so that's what it means, modernization of a special airworthiness certificate.
Live from CFI Boot Camp in Miami Beach, Florida, this is the Power Hour. Welcome.